So in helping leaders build teams and scale their businesses and follow this process that I'd created, the one thing that was draining them the most was their relationships at home. And I'm like, man, it's simple. Why can't you do these three simple things at home? So here's the impact of a leader or a man having these three simple things answered at home, or do these three simple things to figure out your spouse. If you can't do them, call me and I'll figure out your spouse in about 10 minutes, and I'll know something about her that you had no idea about. I don't care how long you've been married. So the process, if you want to call it that, is you have to listen to your spouse, and they have to share what they're committed to accomplishing in their physical body, like their workout. It could be, hey, Tom, I'm going to work out. I'm going to do CrossFit today. Okay. Or, hey, I want to run a marathon in 2 months. Okay. I've heard their commitment to their health. What are they interested in learning? Hey, I'm interested in learning how to do a podcast. Oh my God, I found out what my wife is interested in learning. What's their business? What is the business that your wife is in? If she's a mother, she's in a business. If she works at a business, find out what her metric of that business is. What's the goal that she's trying to articulate in her business? Now that seemed freaking simple. So to date, I've had over 1,000 people try this. To date, 15 knew it up front. What are your wives or your spouse's three goals? What's her health goal, his health goal? What's your spouse's intellectual goal? And what's your spouse's wealth goal? If you can't write them down and articulate it, you've diminished your capacity as a man by a factor of 7. What does that mean? That's a little complicated, but you have diminished yourself by a factor of 7. I want that 7 back. So here's how you get it back. What we said earlier is get in front of your spouse and say, hey, we're going to have a committed conversation. And part of that conversation is, I want to hear what your commitments are in your life. And then keep your mouth shut. I say it grossly because everybody remembers gross, obnoxious things. If your wife wants to be a stripper, you have to say yes. If she wants to be bad, if she wants to do bad things, you have to hear it, non-judgmental, and commit to it. Because if that's who she is and that's how she expresses herself, if you can't hear it, fine, but that's who she is. So you got to be able to commit 100% to whatever your spouse is committed to without changing it, redirecting it, making sense of it. Yes, I'm in. There's not a lot of people that have that level of commitment to their spouse. Therefore, they can't listen and create a deep relationship with their spouse. I can easily hear what your spouse wants to say because I don't judge. Once they get the experience of saying something without being judged, their life changes and so does yours. Like once I get to hear Stacy tell me what she's committed to, our existence that day changes. And it could be anything, but I have to hear those three things: what their physical goal is, their wealth goal, and their intellectual goal. That makes me connected to her. Now I have a relationship with her. And then she gets to hear mine, and she can't change or adapt them. And then you have to have some intimacy, kiss, grab butt, brush by her, say something acknowledging, say something nice. That's all intimacy. Yeah. We'll come to find out, I've not met many couples that have that on a day-to-day basis. And it makes things very difficult over time to be in a relationship with somebody you're not 100% committed to.